When I say I don't want to fight Mexican, because I represent Mexico.
I feel like Canelo's a fucking pussy.
Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
David Benavidez, the undefeated Mexican powerhouse, is making his intentions crystal clear.
Maybe the most feared fighter in boxing. Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big dude who fights like that. Oh, Canelo's ducking him. This dude's a monster. And I looked and I thought, am I right or wrong about that?
No, you're definitely right. You know, you're looking at a man that's not going to let anything outside the ring, you know, mess with his game. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm not scared of nothing. You know, I accept and I invite war. You know, so if that's what people of Riyadh, Saudi Arabia want to see, well, let's give it to them. I think everybody is starting to see that I'm fearless, I'm relentless, and I'll fight anybody to get my respect in the ring.
After witnessing Canelo Alvarez's defeat to Terence Crawford, David Benavidez has been outspoken and unapologetic. He isn't simply calling for a fight, openly accusing Canelo of being afraid. For years, one name has lingered over Alvarez's career, a challenge he has repeatedly avoided: Benavidez.
Spinning back on Canelo, he was talking about how he didn't want to give David Benavidez the fight because he was being disrespectful.
When you look at the history of Canelo, all the fighters that was disrespectful, calling them out, he fought all of them. But I just think from a Mexican standpoint, one being extra disrespectful towards the other, he took the sport out of it, and he just felt as if he wasn't going to give Benavidez the payday that he wanted.
Benavidez is prepared to finally settle the score and claim his rightful throne. Following Canelo Alvarez's stunning defeat to Terence Crawford, the shadow of that long-awaited clash has become impossible to ignore. Just weeks ago, the boxing world was shaken when Crawford, the undisputed welterweight king, jumped up 2 weight classes and dismantled Alvarez in a way that made him look vulnerable. It wasn't just a low sit, was a commanding performance that chipped away at the aura surrounding the Mexican superstar. Even respected trainers like Ronnie Shields suggested that Canelo may have already passed his prime.
I predicted Crawford by unanimous decision. You got that? You know, I just thought Crawford was too fast for Canelo. Too many combinations. Canelo doesn't jab anymore. He looked for one shot now. You know, I mean, the end is there for Canelo.
Oscar de la Hoya offered a sharp breakdown of where Canelo faltered, underscoring that this wasn't just another fight, it was a defining moment that reignited a challenge long overdue. In an exclusive interview with Inside the Ring, David Benavidez himself praised Crawford's historic achievement, extending heartfelt congratulations and acknowledging the rare place Crawford has carved in boxing history. Benavidez stressed that Crawford belongs on boxing's Mount Rushmore for moving up 3 weight classes and capturing the undisputed crown at super middleweight. He added, "Not only is he a great fighter, but you could see in that fight just how much of a dog he is," pointing out that many fighters could learn from Crawford's heart and determination.
First of all, I just want to give Terence Crawford a great congratulations. You know, he's reached the part in history that only so many fighters get to even accomplish in boxing. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. There's nothing, you can't take that away from him. Terence Crawford should be on the Mount Rushmore in boxing because not only did he go up 3 weight classes, he beat one of the best fighters of this generation. I don't remember any time in history where anybody has come up from 147 pounds and won the super middleweight championship. Not only just one, but the undisputed. He's won every single title. So, you know, man, that man, not only is he a great fighter, but you could tell in that fight by seeing this combination right now how much of a dog he is. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of fighters could take a lot of notes from Terence Crawford, not only physically, but as take notes in the heart aspect. And I give it all up to Terence Crawford. You know, he's one of the greatest of all time. And, you know, we salute Terence Crawford.
Long before Crawford landed his shocking victory, David Benavidez had been relentlessly chasing Canelo, a looming presence haunting the super middleweight division.
I got 3 WBC belts right here. I'm the best in the division. If they want to give me an opportunity now or later, I'm gonna keep winning. You know, like I said, I'm gonna be the greatest of my generation by the time I'm done. And my job is not complete until I make that happen. For Canelo and everybody else, to just show everybody I'm not around. I'm here to stay. I just look at the facts. You know, the people want to see this fight more than Carlos Adames and Charlo. You know, that's why that fight hasn't happened. But for me and Canelo, we got motion. You know what I mean? I've been winning the fights I'm supposed to win in fantastic fashion. He has nobody else to fight. You know what I mean? So if they want to give it to me now, later, whenever, I'm not going to win.
For years, Benavidez, a two-time WBC champion boasting an impressive professional record of 30-0 with 25 knockouts, held the interim title, positioning himself as a clear and constant threat to Canelo's undisputed dominance.
I don't really like to bash somebody because at the end of the day, I give respect to Canelo. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
One of the best Mexican fighters of all time.
But wanting to fight him, David, is not bashing him.
Yeah.
That's not bashing him.
But that's what I'm saying. They spin the narrative on Instagram.
Right.
If I say something, they say this or that. But I only want what I earn.
Right.
And I'm entitled to it. From what the WBC told me, they say you win the title limiter, we'll give you a title shot. You win the WBC interim title, we'll give you a title shot. I've been in this position for 3 years. So just because Canelo, he could do what he wants, as he says.
Right.
He's not going to fight the top competition. And he's holding all those belts hostage, bro. And it's not like, you got other great fighters too. You got me, David Morrell there.
Yeah.
How is it fair that these sanctioning bodies let him pick and choose who he wants to fight? And then the Canelo fans too that be talking shit, bro. Like, you guys not want to see the best fights?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. I'm just trying to make the best fights happen. And that's it. At the end of the day, I just want to give the fans what they want to see.
Yeah.
The rumors weren't mere whispers, they were real. Reports emerged of a jaw-dropping $70 million offer made to Canelo for the showdown, an offer that Benavidez himself confirmed, revealing that he had agreed to a flat $5 million just to get the fight on the table.
I'm not scared of nobody. I've heard everybody that's been in front of me, and Canelo's no different. And I will hurt him too, and I'll take all his belts. It's crazy that he asked for $150 million or $200 million to fight me, but he still has the nerve to say that I don't bring nothing to the table. So if I didn't bring nothing to the table, why are you asking for more money than you won in your whole career if I don't mean anything? Maybe after he gets that money, he can buy himself a pair of balls. What I wanted to tell you guys too, I mean, this guy, he's making the most money out of everybody. He's charging you guys so much for the pay-per-views. It's like he's spitting in your guys' face, saying that he doesn't give a what you guys want. He's not going to give you the best fights. He's going to fight the fights that he wants. In my opinion, that's a little bit disrespectful to the fans, but he has cult-like fans that, you know, they don't tell him shit happy or whatever he does. But at the end of the day, if you hold all the titles, you got to fight the best in the division. I'm number one in the division, number one contender. The second one is David Morrell. He's not fighting me, nor he's not fighting David Morrell. So it makes no sense. How is he going to call himself the champion and have all these belts if he doesn't fight the number one or the number two guys? Guys asking $200 million. Why, when they bring my name up with him, that's the most money he's gonna make. When he fought Amir Khan, he outweighed him on like 25 pounds. But, you know, I think it's just he's running out of excuses and running out of things to say, but that's just how it is. I guess that's when you're the cash cow, you can do whatever you want.
Yet, after Benavidez agreed, the line went dead. No response, no negotiations, just complete silence. This wasn't empty talk from an unproven contender. Benavidez had earned his place through sheer determination and skill. His claim was cemented by two standout performances. First, he methodically dismantled Caleb Plant in a fierce grudge match, and then he utterly dominated the previously undefeated and highly skilled Demetrius Andrade, forcing Andrade's corner to throw in the towel.
You've been in a ring with both guys, Canelo and Benavidez. If they fought, which I don't think they're going to fight no time soon, who do you think will win?
Man, that's hard to say. I think both have pros and cons. You know, I feel like the things that Canelo does better than David. There's things that David does better than Canelo. In a way, I'm not comparing it to this fight, but it's like the better be a livable fight. You can say who you think's gonna win. You can't say like, oh man, I'm surprised the Billboard won, or I'm surprised the better be have won. Be like, man, that's a damn good fight. So and so won. So kind of how I feel about the David and Canelo fight. Like, who had the best camp? Who had the best game plan? Who slept the best the night before?
And it's not much that separates guys at that level.
If David can get on him with his combinations and not give him room to breathe, then, you know, that's probably a night that David gets his hand raised. You know, if Canelo is able to slow the pace down a little bit and catch him with a big shot. David's been dropped before from an off-balance shot. He wasn't really hurt, but, you know, would you be surprised if Canelo stopped him? You know, you did. No? So it's hard to say, but I get asked that a lot.
He reflected on his journey, saying, "Since I was 3 years old, I've had one dream and one dream only, to become the greatest boxer of all time. That's exactly what we're going to achieve." Asterisk, he emphasized that this ambition fuels his relentless pursuit of the sport's biggest names.
If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me. Especially since, you know, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which including him, he never got.
You think he's on steroids?
Of course. How does five?
You saw De La Hoya.
How do five people out of your out of your camp get tested positive for steroids.
Right.
We know all those fucking dudes in that camp are doing it.
Call for David Benavidez once this fight is done. Is that a fight that you can see happening before the end of your career?
Look, I never say no to anything. We'll see later. But I'm focused 100% on this fight.
Is there a possibility, or you just go one at a time and you also speak with your team?
Yeah, I go one at a time, but every is a possibility. Always.
Right.
But I've been in this position my whole life. One was 2010 and 2012, 11. Then Mayweather, then Lara, then Cotto, then Callum Smith, then Golovkin, and then if I beat Benavidez, it's gonna be other guy there. They want me to fight. Right. So I've been in this position my whole life. But is that time when that fight they ask, I give it to them. Mm-hmm. But right now in this position I am, now is the time I need to ask. If the money is right,